All right. Excuse me. Allergies, everybody. They're out there all over the place. All right. Tuesday evening. Welcome to the chat. It is a very nice and dry couple of days, and that is both, again, feeling very nice, but it's also a bit of a problem, and we'll show you why coming up here in just a little bit. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. You are watching our live video weather blog, Weather Overtime, where it's your opportunity to learn more about what's going on with the weather. And if you have any questions about what's happening out there, just go ahead and ask them. We cover the areas of northern Georgia, northeast Alabama, extreme western North Carolina, and a good portion of southeastern Tennessee. So we focus mainly on those areas. We'll try to help anybody else who's got any questions about what's happening elsewhere. But again, thanks for joining us for tonight. Travel conditions out there, looking at Highway 153 and 64 over on the southeast side of Chattanooga. Traffic moving along at Lee Point for this evening, and seeing some pretty nice conditions elsewhere, again, across much of the area. Let's switch to the downtown camera, and you can see a little bit more going on there, looking back toward the lights of Lookout Mountain in the distance. A little hazy out there, a little bit on the dry side, so not entirely seeing picture perfect conditions for tonight, but just enough, especially again, if you're going to be hitting the roadways. 75 south and northbound heading up to the 24 west junction. That also from the CHI Memorial Stadium camera looking pretty good for right now. Caught an interesting view from last night from our Island Cove Marina and Resort camera. Kind of hard to see here with all the reflections, but we're watching the constellation of Orion. You can just see the three stars in the belt right there and the star Rigel picking up very well. This whole thing just rotates down to the horizon as we go into the rest of the evening. If you'd like to see that time lapse, head to my Instagram page. That is where I posted a video of that happening just last night. So beautiful to be able to see that. Comfortable out there. The humidity's risen a little bit, but still at this time of the evening, bone dry air with 31% humidity. Winds out of the south at about 3 miles an hour. Temperature down to about 72, where it was up to the lower 80s several hours ago. So we did manage to get a pretty toasty day out there. Numbers for this time of the year, we're just not really all that far away from them. Normal technically is 74 degrees, and we made it up to 81, so 7 above normal, within 9 of a record high that hasn't been broken since that hot spell back in 1955. Record low freezing. Don't get too many of those record lows too much anymore with all the change in the climate, and then also the fact with the seasons changing, we're starting to see more warm conditions out there. We did manage to make it down to 42, so within 10 degrees of that record low, so not bad, but otherwise decently normal, just a little bit above normal for the high and below normal for the low temperature out there. More almanac data, you can pick that up on my page. You can find more details out there from all kinds of stuff. A very nice but very far out view for our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. A 16-minute exposure from Twin Oaks Observatory on Mowbray Mountain last Monday. Thank you very much, Mr. Vic Rogers, for this great view of Messier Catalog 81, otherwise known as Bode's Galaxy. It's about 12 million light years away from our own galaxy. And if you take a look up toward the Big Dipper or Ursa Major, that's where you'll find this galaxy out there. So beautiful to be able to view that. And we'll talk more about astronomy coming up here in just a little bit. But going a little bit farther beyond our usual weather pictures to take a look at some very cool astronomy out there. Again, Vic Rogers, thank you very much for that starry view there. If you've got pictures, astronomical, weather or otherwise, please send them along to us at pictures@wdef.com or facebook.com/WDEFnews12. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. Again, that is going to be where you need to send those to, but email's great. If you want to stay anonymous, perfectly fine, but just give us a description of where you were and what you were looking at. That'll help us out to describe it to everybody else. We also post those pictures on social media, so look for News 12 out there, and we'll be able to give you a better idea as to what's going on. Heading out for a round of golf tomorrow, not looking entirely terrible. The winds might be causing a little bit of a problem, avoiding those gophers also might be a bit of a concern out there, but peak of the week looks nice, very mild on the temperatures, and numbers back into around, again, south at about 5 to 10. Kristen Stukenborg, hey back. Thanks for joining us tonight. Considering, again, the possibility of some very mild conditions over the next several days, heading out to catch a fish, it is going to be average conditions out there and winds out of the south at 5 to 10. Going to be seeing, again, some very mild conditions over the next couple of days. SatRad composite, very much on the dry side, high pressure, well in control, and not seeing anything in the way of major amounts of changes coming on through. High pressure will remain in control for now, but that's also going to help, again, to rotate in some moisture off the Gulf of Mexico before our next storm system approaches, and that one is going to be making its way toward us. It's this one all the way out to the west of us, which is going to be heading our way into the next couple of days. As it does, that'll be our next best chance for some showers and thunderstorms out there. Let's go ahead and run the numbers for you and give you an idea as to what we're looking at into the next couple of days. Again, through about dawn patrol tomorrow morning, temperatures will be rather on the brisk side. Would not be surprised to see some upper 40s out there, especially in the higher elevations, the Cumberland Plateau, and then back into around the Carolinas. Could be looking at some fairly chilly numbers there into tomorrow morning, so make sure that the kids are bundled up for that. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures easily back in the lower 80s. Cloud cover should not be a concern at this point. Very comfortable, very dry once again. And as we go toward Thursday morning, maybe a few more clouds, some patchy fog here and there, but still remaining quite dry across the area. Another round of very warm temperatures, possibly in the mid to upper 80s for Thursday, so definitely want to dress cool there. The rest of the forecast, again, early on Friday, that's where we start to see more clouds making their way on through. And then as we get into Friday afternoon, temperatures will try to make the mid to upper 70s, but it's going to be late Friday afternoon before we see the potential of some more areas of showers and thunderstorms heading our direction, and that's going to be possibly a concern for the kids getting home from school. But that'll be our next best chance of anything involving rainfall out there. The problem we've got is the very enjoyable, pleasant, very dry air out there, bone dry air. In fact, it's just been absolutely wonderful. Not so great for the allergies taking place, but the problem we've got is that into tomorrow, and it looks like the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, has removed this for tonight. This is not a watch. This is not a warning. This is a special weather statement. And as you can see, again, taking for North Carolina back into eastern Tennessee for the News 12 viewing area counties there, under the direction of the National Weather Service in Morristown. The National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, covers this particular area. And earlier tonight, the advisory was in effect, the statement, I should say, was in effect for that area as well. That'll be going into effect. It's not in effect right now. What is it? It's just a statement advising everybody, law enforcement, the public, emergency managers, that tomorrow is going to be the best possibility we've seen in a while. Today was pretty good. Tomorrow's going to be even better for the potential of wildfires to spread. So all it's going to take under these conditions, with that very dry amount of humidity, leaching the moisture out of the local flora, that is going to do a very good job of encouraging wildfires to develop. Not that many around the area reported today. Good news on that. Tomorrow could be even worse, and all it's going to take is just one spark from a barbecue grill, a welder's torch, or a cigarette butt tossed out the window and land in the right place, and you can get a very large wildfire going. So for right now, this area, mainly northeast Alabama, not included in this, and back toward around Grundy County in Tennessee, that also not included in this from the National Weather Service in Nashville. But if they felt strong enough to issue this statement, this is something to pay attention to, especially again for peak of the week Wednesday tomorrow. This is going to be the potential of high wildfire danger. It doesn't sound like much, but it doesn't take much to get a major life-threatening, property-threatening fire started. So let's all be careful with the amount of spark, flame, cigarette butts, anything like that. Be very careful with that for tomorrow. and that might help save somebody's life or property down the line. So let's just be exceptionally careful with that as we go into tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. It's going to be a big change coming up as we go into the next couple of days. Heading out the door again for Friday night into Saturday morning, that's where we see the potential of some showers and thunderstorms taking place. Tomorrow, quite warm, sunny, continuing that pattern through about early Friday, but more clouds will be coming back through. And then Friday into Saturday, that's where we see the potential of showers and thunderstorms, the best potential over the next several days. No severe weather at this time, but that's something we're going to be watching very carefully to see what the parameters are. The Storm Prediction Center will give us updates on that. We'll keep you updated on that to give you an idea as to what's going on. But for right now, that is the current setup to where it's rain and thunder, maybe some breezy winds, but also take a look. Notice the temperatures are going to be taking a bit of a tumble, maybe even some upper 50s for highs by the time we hit Sunday. Getting rid of the rainfall right there, that's looking pretty good. Nice little warm up into next week. Monday morning for the kids going back to school could be very brisk out there. Frosty, higher elevations, a little too warm for that, I think, for right now. That could change, so stay tuned on that. And then the next best chance of rainfall outside of this by the end of the week, way over toward next weekend, so a good 10 days away at this point. We'll keep you updated on that as well. Now, here's the thing. The chances of showers and thunderstorms greatest Friday night into Saturday early. Most of what we're getting in the way of rainfall should be getting its way out of here and starting to park itself farther east of us. That's good news if this works out properly, because if we start to clear the skies out, we're going to be seeing some very nice conditions, hopefully, for the peak of the next meteor shower coming through. The Lyrids, as they are called, are named for, again, coming out of the constellation of Lyra the Harp. That'll be peaking this Saturday night, Sunday morning. The trouble is, again, we've got that possibility of scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Now, if those clouds linger around, we might have some breaks in the cloud cover. It won't be totally overcast, but what we'd like to see is to get as much cloud cover out of here as possible so we can go out and observe the meteors and just have a nice night of keeping an eye out for those shooting stars, as they're called. So hopefully the showers and thunderstorms end quickly enough so we can get all that out of here, and we look for the potential of maybe a good viewing party to be able to see more meteors. This is not a huge meteor shower, 18 meteors per hour. 100 per hour would be considered a meteor storm. Not seeing that, so one meteor every few minutes. It's not huge, but it is fun to go out and take a look for these meteors, to be able to see what's going on and to introduce your kids to some astronomy, going out and taking a look and see what's up in the night sky. So more information about this on my website, so go ahead and hop by there and take a look there. It is also, I wanted to tell you about this last night but ran out of time. It is International Dark Sky Week. It doesn't sound like a big whoop in and of itself, but the neat thing is that thanks to the amount of lights that we have out there for cities and on interstates and all over the place, city buildings do a lot in the way, and cities in general, bigger ones, do a very good job of wasting energy when it comes to light pollution. So the International Dark Sky Association holds this week to call attention to the fact that light pollution is terrible. It affects humans, it affects other animals, birds especially, for migratory routes, things like that, but it does a lot of other damage as well. You can help on stuff like that. If you'd like to be a citizen scientist, you can gauge how bad the light pollution is in your area and report that back to scientists who are studying that. You don't need a degree to be a citizen scientist. All you need is just the willingness to help out. You might need a smartphone, you might need a computer, you might need a pencil and a piece of paper. It just depends. In this case, you can go to their website to find out more about all these topics coming up, including becoming a dark sky advocate, to find out and promote more about being able to stargaze under better conditions. We don't do that too much anymore. We're inside with our devices. We're inside not taking a look at how cool the night sky is. So if you'd like to find out more, International Dark Sky Week at IDSW. Again, that's not triple W. That's the website that you find out there. Or you can just go out and search International Dark Sky Week 2023. But idsw.darksky.org. And the hashtag on social media is discover the night. So great opportunity to get out there and learn more about the night sky and find out a ton more about what's going on, including citizen science. It's a really cool way to be able to kind of help out on things. So something to consider there if you'd like to get involved on that and do some stargazing for a little bit. Good opportunity again to see more. All right, let's do one more check. The 3-day forecast will be showing again the potential of some very warm conditions over the next couple of days. Again, chances of rainfall best as we go toward the end of the week. So far, no severe weather chances, but that is something we need to keep an eye on, especially at this time of the year, and that's exactly what we'll be doing. So keep it tuned to News 12 for more information on that. That can change a lot, especially in the springtime. So again, this is the time to watch out for that. Summer and into early autumn, when it's hurricane season, we can get some more nasty storms coming up at that time. But right now, springtime has its own problems. If you want to know more about this or any of what's going on, check me out on my other social media websites. Great to have you along. You search for me out there. You'll find me at some place and location. Also, hit me up for a game of chess, too, at chess.com or lichess.org. Would love to have you on board for that if you'd like to stop by and play a game. That'll do it for tonight. There's really little, if anything, going on. It's very quiet. It's very dry. Remember that special weather statement for the potential of major wildfires in the area, depending on how conditions are. So keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. Chip Chapman will have more on your forecast bright and early at 5 a.m. Eastern on the morning show with all your forecast updates. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon to get you through the evening hours and head toward the end of the week. And again, things looking decently quiet all the way on through. So no major problems being seen here. Questions, concerns, ideas, email me at Onek. That's AONEK at WDEF.com. Or again, you can find me on our social media pages or on the website at WDEF.com/weather if you'd like to search for us there and find out a little bit more about what we've been doing and keeping up to date with all the news department and sports department stories. They're all there, so definitely want to stick around and find out more about that. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek from WDEF News 12 in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. You've been watching Weather Overtime. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more details on your complete forecast online at WDEF.com, and again with Chip Chapman coming up bright and early on Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us.